The city of Évora, a city of white walls, Roman ruins, and narrow cobbled streets. To many, it is a jewel of Portuguese history, but within its brightness there are shadows. And one shadow is older, darker, and more elusive than the rest. The Witch of Évora. There are many stories told about witches in Évora, yet one account stands above the rest. The most detailed version traces back not to the Middle Ages legends, but to a book. The Witch of Évora appears in the Book of Saint Cyprian, a text of spells and forbidden knowledge that shaped witchcraft traditions in Portugal and Brazil. One 19th century edition contained a chapter titled The Witch of Évora, or the Story of the Eternal Bride. But this tale was not original. It had been borrowed from a much older source, the History of the Antiquities of Évora, published in 1739 under the name Amador Patricio. That book described strange sepulchres discovered during the rebuilding of the castle of Giraldo, painted with lizards, serpents, toads, and half-human creatures. But the Book of Saint Cyprian added a chilling line. It was the den where the witch Lagarrona performed her diabolical spells. And with that single phrase, a myth was born. In the stories, she was called Lagarrona, a Moora enchantress, part of the old pagan memory of Iberia. But unlike simple village witches, her powers were vast. She turned her son invisible, and then into a donkey that could fly through the air. She conjured illusions of palaces, gardens, tournaments, and dances to bewilder her victims. She cast love and death spells, making couples fall asleep without ever consummating their marriage, and striking down grooms within 24 hours. And when her son was imprisoned, she unleashed storms of terror, fiery shadows, giants, beasts, thunder, smoke, and serpents raining from the sky. Her death was as strange as her life. Interrupted during a powerful spell, the earth opened and swallowed her house. She was left suspended in mid-air until her body rotted, and the very ground around her was cursed. From then on, the place carried her name, slightly altered, changing from Lagarrona to Lagardona. Not a new witch, but the echo of the old one, carved into the land itself. Yet here lies the mystery. No one today can point to where this Lagardona ever was. The site exists only in legend, a name without a map. And later retellings gave her another face. Some claimed she was not only a sorceress, but a wise Moorish woman, literate in many languages, skilled in star reading, pottery, and talismans. Her treasures were said to include gold coins of Caliph Omar, an agate inscribed with Arabic letters, and a silver plate marked with sacred names. But wisdom could not shield her from the fear of the Inquisition. In a city where faith ruled every street, knowledge beyond the church was enough to brand her dangerous. As Évora's shadows hold more than legend, the Inquisition truly did cast its net over the city. In the 16th century, women and men stood trial for witchcraft. Records tell of spells cast inside magical circles, of demons invoked and bargains struck with enchanted spirits. Some were healers, wise women like Brits Marquez and Brits Ferzoa, who offered remedies to their neighbors. Others confessed to visions of spirits and angels, words that to inquisitors were dangerous. One woman, Leonor Gonçalves, was accused in 1675. She claimed to speak with her dead husband and her guardian angel, and to heal with a piece of wood taken from a church altar. But she also declared that holy figures like Our Lady of the Rosary were kin to the devil. For this, she was deported to Brazil. With respect to the Book of Saint Cyprian, it tied the witch's fate to the infamous magician-turned-martyr Saint Cyprian. It was said that before her death, the Witch of Évora passed her forbidden secrets to him. Cyprian later locked them away in his dark book, keeping them not as weapons, but as relics of a power he believed broken before the Almighty. It was through Cyprian's book that her legend traveled across the Atlantic, and in Brazil she was reborn. There she became a pombagira, a spirit in Quimbanda tradition, no longer an ancient crone, but a seductive guide of love and desire, a woman in red and black, with a black goat at her side. She favored champagne, cigars, and perfume, and she remained, as always, a figure both feared and sought after. And so, with so many faces and stories, who indeed was the Witch of Évora? A sorceress named Lagarrona, a Moora enchantress swallowed by the earth, a wise Moorish woman hunted by the Inquisition, a Brazilian spirit reborn in Quimbanda, or the many accused healers and visionaries who once stood trial in Évora? Perhaps she was all of them at once. Her legend grew from a single line in a book, reshaped over centuries, adapting to each generation's fears and desires. The name Lagarrona, said to mark the cursed ground where she died, has never been found on any map. Yet the legend insists it was there, as if the land itself remembered her, even when history could not. And maybe that is the power of the Witch of Évora, not that she lived as one woman, but that she became many. With a myth that slips between fact and fiction, between the records of the Inquisition and the whispers of folklore, the city of Évora remains a city of light and shadow, of temples and tombs, of saints and ditches. And in its shadows, the Witch of Évora still waits. Thank you for watching. If you wish to hear more stories like this, give this video a like and subscribe for more Legends in the Dark. Until next time.